Dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy.
Hello ladies, gentlemen and in-betweeners. I've got something for you today that you've already seen some of, but I've been lucky enough to have been given exclusivity of this full footage to share here on the channel with you. Just a few days ago, I and many other people were disgusted at the short clip showing David Baldwin being pushed so hard he was pushed completely off his feet, and then being arrested for the privilege of allowing West Yorkshire Police to assault him. Well, the owner of the CCTV has allowed me to share this longer version with the proviso that it stays on this channel. Not something I do with my videos normally, but as the footage belongs to someone else, I have to accommodate that request. So please be aware that this video and the clip used has been copyrighted, and YouTube will copyright strike a channel if it's found, which obviously I don't want to happen to anyone, hence why I'm letting you know right now. Once the longer clip has played through, you'll get a bonus clip of BBC Look North reporting on the incident and, well, my thoughts about the BBC's report.
Fucking. Come away. Come over here, cunt. PC bobbing. Come over, bitch. How come we were beating that lass up? How come yeah, he's on CCTV, I got it all beat. How about you, wasn't it?
How did I beat her up?
Yeah, when she was laid over.
How did I beat her up?
It's on CCTV, you don't know, mate, that was scandalous.
Yeah, how did I beat her up?
Well, she was on the floor, saying stop it, just talking to you, and you started sticking an arm up her back. Why were you doing that? That's scandalous. Female, you're big at it, you think you're bad, don't you? I ain't done no wrong, mate, you got your lines there. There's no I done wrong. Oh, don't think he'd like it. Oh shit! What have you done? What have you done?
Move away! Do as you're told! Move!
Yeah, lines here. Lines there, mate. The line's there. The line's there. The line's there, mate.
Yeah, you're right.
I know, but this is free. I'm going that way. I know, mate, but I ain't done no wrong, have I? No, well, that's what I can stand here. I can stand here, though. I can legally stand here. I can legally stand here. I don't even have to, but I can legally stand here. I know, see you all on camera, mate. I'm beating your lass up, man. It's all on camera. Don't worry about it. Don't push me. Do not push me. That is assault. Get your hands off me. I'm not walking towards him. I'm stood against an edge. Will you get away from me?
Stop moving towards the sea, mate.
That's the line. I'm allowed to go there. And this is my land. I can go where I want.
Stop moving towards him then.
I'm not moving towards him. I stood.
Hey, mate. Bring a bit further up. Yeah, please. Ta.
So, fucking go on CCTV, you're battering that bird. It's going lively, innit? Well, I'm going that way, aren't I? Well, don't fucking touch me.
I'm going to be moving the sea, mate. That's all I'm doing. Moving you. I haven't touched you, have I?
Yeah. Did they knock you out? Did they smash you? Yeah. Did they hit you?
Right, mate. Off you go. Breaching confidential person.
Yeah, yeah. What are you doing?
Right, on.
What are you doing? Are you pushing?
I didn't tell him pushing you.
What are you doing? That's the line,
man.
man. I know.
Now go away.
What are you fucking doing, you silly bastard? What are you
Go
doing?
away.
What the fuck are you doing?
Go
What are you
away.
doing? What are you doing? That was assault now. I've got you on CCTV.
Go.
See all that there?
You're
On
locked up.
CCTV?
You're locked up.
Where am I? What are you doing? You fucking pushed me over. Why was that? Yeah. Did you see that?
Next tonight, a man from Leeds says police overreacted after they caught him filming an incident on a street in Seacroft. David Baldwin, who claims he has a brain tumour, says police pushed him to the ground and he required hospital treatment.
Says police pushed him to the ground. What do you mean he says police pushed him to the ground? It's pretty damn clear to see exactly what happened, even in the short version that everybody shared a few days ago.
Now, West Yorkshire Police said he was arrested for obstructing an officer. The matter has now been referred to the Professional Standards Directorate.
West Yorkshire Police said he was arrested for obstructing an officer. However, he didn't. He wasn't preventing the police, any of them, from doing their jobs, and, as we know, filming them isn't obstruction either. Now, bear in mind that the cop who assaulted him said to start with that he was breaching confidentiality. I mean, what the actual fuck does that even mean?
Phil Bodmer has this story.
A residential street in Leeds last Saturday morning. CCTV captures the moment police cars intercept a vehicle at a road junction in Seacroft. A woman is forced to the ground and then handcuffed. Alerted by the commotion, local resident David Baldwin films the incident on a mobile phone. Other officers then begin to put up a cordon to protect the scene. David, who told us he has a brain tumour and epilepsy, is then seen to move behind the tape.
Whoa there. Seen to move behind the tape? Well, I've watched this and zoomed in as much as possible, and I can tell you there is zero clear evidence that he did. And this reporter from the BBC making that claim is ridiculous. Yes, he looks very close to the tape, but it is impossible to make the claim that he had gone to the other side of it.
Right, mate. Off you go. Breaching confidential person.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you pushing?
I didn't tell him pushing you.
Another officer then approaches. There appears to be an altercation, and the officer seemingly pushes him to the ground.
Seemingly pushes him to the ground? Or does he push him to the ground?
Go, you silly bastard. What are you doing?
The footage appears to show the officer holding David by the throat.
Oh, there's that magic word again. If all your reporters all have eyesight issues, then maybe they should have gone to Specsavers, because it doesn't appear to show the police holding David round the throat. He actually did have his hand around David's throat.
More officers quickly arrive. David can be seen being wrestled to the ground and handcuffed. David told us he was arrested for breach of confidentiality, but West Yorkshire Police say a man was arrested on suspicion of obstructing an officer.
And why wouldn't they say something different to what David says? This is what they do all the time. They'll make up some BS reason to arrest you, and then once they've had the time to speak to colleagues or their sergeant or realise that they've done something wrong, they'll actually spend some time to come up with a reason that fits the narrative, which is why being arrested and being charged are often for very, very different offences.
I didn't think it was appropriate, really. You know, I was on public land, videoing it, and just come over pushing me. You know, I've got a brain tumour. You know, how does he know? But you know, he's done that, and it could have caused me, you know, to put me on a siege, and I could have hurt myself.
I did no wrong, mate. You got your lines there.
Do you think you should have been trying to communicate with those who were being arrested?
I shouldn't have done, really, but you know, just at a moment, you know.
According to police guidelines, there are no powers prohibiting the taking of photographs, film or digital images in a public place. The guidance also goes on to state, among other things, public and press should not be prevented from taking footage and citizen journalism. Once an image has been recorded, the police have no power to delete or confiscate recorded images without a court order.
But we all know what the police think about those guidelines, don't we? Isn't it funny how they argue they were using force within guidelines or handcuffing someone in line with guidelines, but when it comes to guidelines that are protecting the public, they suddenly become just guidelines.
The person who filmed it on his phone, who was later being arrested, should not have been speaking to the person who had been initially arrested, and because he's becoming involved there. Of course, everybody could have been a bit more polite in this situation, but they had no right to move him back and then to throw him to the ground and arrest him. Yeah, I don't think it was proportionate at all, in my opinion.
David is referring the matter to the Independent Office for Police Conduct, Meanwhile, West Yorkshire Police say a complaint has been received by their Professional Standards Directorate.
Currently the busiest professional standards department in the country, I would dare to bet.
Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North.
So, what is the guidance about filming in public places? Griff Ferris is from Big Brother What. That's an organisation which campaigns on privacy and civil liberties. He gave me his reaction to the footage.
It's an extremely aggressive, almost brutal arrest of a completely innocent bystander, apparently just for filming what's going on during a further police arrest.
Let's have a look at two scenarios here. If you're right and he was just an innocent bystander, you would say that that was a disproportionate reaction, would you?
I would absolutely think it's a disproportionate reaction. It's completely within the public's right to film encounters with the police, as long as they're not physically in the way of the police carrying out their work. That man was standing behind the police cordon. There were several other police officers around. He wasn't within close distance of the other man who was being arrested, and he was shoved to the ground while the police officer mumbled something about breach of confidentiality.
So what happens if the police knew who this person was? I don't know whether that's the case or not, and he was regarded as somebody who needed some kind of special attention. Would it be proportionate then, in your view?
Special attention? Why is this guy even asking that question? I mean, is he trying to suggest that certain people are not allowed to carry out lawful and legal activities in public? What a stupid thing to say. BBC, we all know it anyway, but your news reporting is horrendous. Making suggestions to get people thinking that it's okay to treat people's rights differently depending on who they are.
I'm not sure it's possible to comment on specifics of a situation where he may or may not have been known. The fact is that it didn't appear that he was doing anything wrong. He was standing outside of the police cordon and he was filming, which was completely within his rights to do.
How concerned, therefore, are you about this kind of tactic?
Well, I'll tell you how concerned I am. Greatly concerned, gravely concerned even, from threats of arrest under Terrorism Act that no longer exist, to actually arresting someone under Terrorism Acts, to reminding people in prison for filming, to out and out assault and battery. If you're not concerned, then you don't care about our freedoms or our rights, and that is a very bad thing.
Often incidents like that, it's the only way to hold police to account is by filming, and it's lucky not only that the man was filming, but also that it was caught by an individual's camera on the street.
Good night, all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.